Should I stay or should I go? That's the question our next guest asks in her new book about surviving a relationship with a narcissist. Dr. Ramani Durvasula examines whether you can really turn a beast into a prince or whether it's better to walk away from your partner. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
What an interesting topic you wrote about. So talk to me. First off, explain what a narcissist is.
You know, narcissism is often misunderstood. It's a big word that means lots of things, but really what it means is somebody who lacks empathy, who's often sort of cold and disconnected, who frequently disappoints you because they don't care. And I think a lot of people get frustrated because you feel like I'm communicating, I'm talking. Here's the thing, they're not listening. It's sort of their way or the highway, and that's it. And so it confuses people because initially they can be very charming, very interesting. That's because they're trying to get the prize. Once they have the prize, they're not so interested. It's like a spoiled child.
Sure. Let me ask you, what made you want to write about this?
The reason I wanted to write about it was a lot of reasons. I do research on it, but I was seeing more and more clients in my own practice who were coming in really devastated, feeling this person I'm making a life with is simply not listening to me. Is it me? And they started wondering, I feel like I'm not enough. Nothing I do is ever enough. I feel like I'm always disappointed, and maybe I'm not compromising enough. They really were always questioning themselves. And I realized their partner not only didn't check out, they were never checked in the first place.
Gotcha. So talk to me about what narcissism can do to a relationship.
Narcissism devastates a relationship from the inside out, because I always view it sort of as a slow devastation. This is over the years to, again, never be listened to, never be heard. Have your partner just, it almost feels like the life is always about them, their schedule, their hopes, their dreams. That's all good and well, but they have no interest in hearing about yours. They never want to be inconvenienced by you as their partner or anybody else. So what it does is it almost feels like you're in a relationship, but you're absolutely alone. And there's nothing lonelier than being alone in a relationship.
So what are the signs if somebody thinks that they might be in this relationship, but they're not quite sure? What are some of those signs you look out for?
Some of the signs you want to look for is, do you honestly feel like you're not being heard, that you're talking to someone and you are honestly saying the same thing over and over again, even little things like we need to be at dinner at 8, and it's as though you never said it. This sense that you're chronically almost being disappointed, or you feel like you're never enough. You always feel like you're saying, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. It's like if you're saying I'm sorry more than 5 times a day in a relationship, you want to step back and take stock. Look at how your partner treats other people, hotel clerks, at an airport, even how they drive their car. If they're really sort of cutting everyone off and they're sort of driving mean, they're probably living mean. These are the kinds of things you can often suss out in the beginning. And most people I work with said the red flags of narcissism and the neglect and the carelessness, they showed up at the very beginning of the relationship. They sort of fell for the whole Beauty and the Beast. Maybe if I love him hard enough, he'll turn into a prince. It's not how it works.
So you have the for better or worse vows that you take. You know, how do you get through this without ending the relationship?
That's such a great question, which this is why I called the book Should I Stay or Should I Go? Should I go is kind of easy if someone's not being nice to you, but if you sometimes feel like you have to stay, you have these vows, culture, religion, children, finances, or maybe you just love them. It's really about managing expectations. This person may not always be able to bring it. They may not be your only go-to. You may have to really turn to friends and family and other supports. Sadly, you need to understand their limitations. And obviously, I'm always going to recommend therapy, but frankly, therapy, couples therapy with a narcissist can be very frustrating because oftentimes they're able to charm the therapist and they're still not listening.
So now, have you actually been able to identify other people in this type of relationship, like celebrities or anything like that? Have you been able to go on and see what you think?
Increasingly in our culture, celebrity is becoming synonymous with narcissist, being very entitled and grandiose and sort of getting away with anything and everything. You know, we look at our Charlie Sheens and our Kanye Wests and a lot of our reality TV people where it's just sort of me, selfie, 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 look at me, with no regard for how they're impacting other people. I hate to say it, but narcissism feels like the new black, which is all very entertaining. And let's face it, our patron saint of narcissism, Donald Trump. And so, you know, at the end of the day, this is sort of the new way, but it's very entertaining. It's just not good for our relationships.
Okay, so how can people get in touch with you if they think that what you're talking about relates to them? They might want to read up on this. What's the best way?
Absolutely. First of all, I'm going to say read the book. Like, this is a manual on all things narcissistic. I can be found on Twitter at Dr. Ramani, D-O-C-T-O-R, Ramani, R-A-M-A-N-I, or at my website at drdoctor-ramani Ramani, RAMANI.com.
Perfect. Doctor, thank you so much for being here. What an interesting topic. Thank you. All right, and coming up, unfiltered blogger Kathy